Let's see. Today's day 45. What's 45 plus 7? 52. Congratulations on day 52. Oh, y'all, I'm so glad to be back. Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and I would absolutely love it. If you're new here, if this is your first time, if you would consider checking out the other videos on the channel and possibly liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. We are less than 300 subscribers away from 2K, and I am so excited. Now, first things first, I just want to say a huge thank you to every single one of y'all who is always supporting this channel. As you know, if you're not new here, I was on vacation last week. I went back to Boston to visit my family, and so therefore I was not here, and I got you guys out a few videos, but the perfectionist in me is like dying because they're not like where my usual videos are, you know? I think the videos were shorter and like I uploaded them at weird times, but you know what? I'm not gonna cut into like family time to like record. So anyway, like, I just love y'all because some of y'all were still like, thank you so much for keeping up. And it just means a lot because the perfectionist in me was literally dying at those videos. But I am back in my normal setup. I am back home now. So we will be back to once a day updates starting tomorrow. We're going to be doing one day at a time, updates every morning. We are back, and I have no other trips planned, okay? So I got y'all for the rest of this season. So thank you guys so much for bearing with me. You guys are the best. Like, I literally am so grateful for, like, y'all who have come here from Big Brother, because you guys are the best. Anyways, we are going to be talking about days 45, 46, and 47 today. Now, the reason why I felt okay to put 3 days in one video is because a lot of the conversations kind of melded from day to day. A lot of the stuff that happened was very similar. There was a lot of talk about a lot of things that has been slowly happening over the past few days. So I feel like we're gonna get a nice little story progression here, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get into it, okay? Because, baby, the house has changed. Yes, we're gonna talk a little bit about it. Tucker left. Tucker was evicted on Thursday. And I watched the competition and I thought that Tucker threw it, but he claims he did not. He claims that he built it backwards, which kills me even more. Tucker was gone, but he did win 20K from being the AI instigator. I think that regardless of how you personally feel about Tucker, if you like his personality, if you don't, Tucker is definitely one of the most influential and interesting pre-jurors that we have had ever. I was definitely sad to see him go, but I think at the same time, I cannot lie and say that I'm not a little happy and a little excited to see how the house is going to play without Tucker being there. So we're going to talk a little bit about Thursday night, not too much, but anyways, before the HOH competition, we already get Joseph in the bathroom telling Quinn how getting Tucker out was likely the best game option. Joseph is already jumping ship. Like this, over these past days, you're gonna see that Joseph has already been like, I don't even like Tucker. Tucker who? Tucker? Nah, he tried to do this with me. I wasn't even with him. I thought he was a terrible game player. Sure thing, Joseph. And we're going to also see Joseph's cockiness on Front Street. And I'm tired of Joseph's cockiness. Is anyone else over it? Because I am legitimately over Joseph's cockiness. Okay, now MJ also tells Rubina that she does not want to be known as a comp beast on Thursday night. She feels like Tucker would have gotten her out if she didn't get him out. There was definitely a couple of people that were trying to get in Rubina's good graces in case Rubina won HOH. Anyways, the feeds go down and we find out our HOH is Quinn, and I was so happy. A Quinn HOH is just what we needed. We need somebody who is maximum chaos. Because I don't care what y'all gotta say, Quinn is maximum chaos. So I was so happy that Quinn won. So Quinn immediately off rip tells T-Core that he is putting up Rubina because there is no shot with her.
Let's see who's left. Joseph, Leah, Mackenzie. What are your thoughts on Kimo and Rubina?
I would put Rubina up because
talks about how he's burned her many times. He obviously burned Tucker many times, who she's close with. And at this point, he said, if I don't go after her, she's probably going to come after me. At least that's what Quinn believed. And that's what he repeatedly told people. Quinn's original target was Rubina this week. So Tigor tells Quinn to talk to Joseph because he was aware of Tucker's plan, but that Chemo and Rubina were not. So the subplot going on is that Tigor really wanted to try to protect Rubina and Chemo because they were in danger. And remember, Rubina, Chemo, and who is the third person? I can't think of the third person right now. Joseph. Rubina, Chemo, and Joseph, all three of them did not vote out Tucker. So already they are on the radar as working with him. They are on the radar as being on his side. And Quinn, immediately clocked that and knows that. And so Rubina and Chemo were already in the line of fire. In addition to that, remember the trio of Rubina, Chemo, and Tigor. There are many people in the house. Quinn, Chelsea. Remember Quinn and Chelsea, they're talking now. And there is a lot of buzz on that side about breaking up the trio. But to keep in mind, they like Tigor. Chelsea likes Tigor, Quinn likes Tigor, and they both want her around, but those other two, not so much. So anyways, Quinn also says, look, MJ is a strong competitor. It is tough to put her on the block because she might win and take herself off. So Joseph and MJ, they have a long conversation about loving Tucker.
That was my boy. I'm gonna miss him.
I loved him a lot. I'm gonna miss him a lot.
He was a good dude. He was such a good president and just a good person.
Yeah, he was.
Joseph said, look, Tucker would have kept you around, And MJ's like, well, I got word that Tucker was voting me out. So there was no way that I could possibly keep him in this house. Joseph does confirm that, yes, that was true, but she would have gotten out against Angela. So MJ and Leah are also having a conversation. MJ gets very emotional post the game, the HOH game. She says, look, I made it to jury. Quinn also reassured MJ from the jump that she was safe this week. So he was like, obviously keep it on the hush hush, but you're safe. So a lot of them were happy and celebrating that they made it to jury. They are speculating that this week will start jury. And that seems about right because this is the halfway point of the game. So Tigor and Quinn are also having a conversation, and Quinn is like, look, I just built bridges with MJ, Chelsea, and Cam. There is no possible way that I am putting them on the block this week. I just formed those relationships again. He also said, look, during the competition, they were cheering for me. They were clearly on my side. I'm just not going after them. Sorry. So Cam and Quinn also talk, and at this point, Cam thinks that Chemo should go on the block because he was the one that flipped the vote against Tucker. He thought that they were going to wait until jury to flip. This is Quinn, so he was a little bit confused. But he does say he trusts Tigor, Chelsea, Cam, and MJ. So those four, keep those four in mind because he really has decided that is who he wants, that is who he's going to work with, and he is continuously protecting that group of people this week. They're not going on the block. So apparently Chemo had lied and said that he was voting out Angela, and Quinn was like, it's so effing dumb to lie about that. Why would you lie about that? So Chelsea and Quinn also talk, and Quinn is talking about how he wants to build something with Tigor, Chelsea, and Cam. And remember, this is Thursday night, so he already knew as soon as he won that HOH, this is the group he wants. Without Tucker in the house, who can I get on my side? And he is also talking about how that group, meaning Tigor, Chemo, and Rubina, and all those other people, they wanted to keep Angela around so she could play another role in the house, so she could be a shield. But Quinn's not really buying all of that, and he's not really on board with that. So Joseph tells Leah that he wants to keep Rubina and Tigor safe. Rubina, Tigor, and Chemo close and safe this week, and he really wants to try to convince Quinn to not put them up. So that is another thing that Joseph is kind of more on the side of the trio, if you will, while Quinn is definitely floating more towards the Chelsea, Cam, MJ side of things. And also to keep in mind, Quinn really loves Leah. Leah is like a pure floater, but he is saying Leah will be safe. And of course, it's schoolboy with a crush, let's be honest. But nonetheless, he has decided that Leah is safe. So Tigor, Chemo, and Rubina, they also have a conversation, and they talk about how they are really, really scared about what Quinn is going to do.
Than the one he thinks he has with Joseph and Leah.
No, you guys have had his back.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't know if he's aware of that.
How does he not know?
That's gonna tick me off.
Tigor in particular was really, really anxious. She was really paranoid, really nervous. She says it would really tick her off if he put up if he put up Rubina or Chemo, or herself, any of the three of them. So Rubina is saying, look, I'm pretty sure you're good. Like, you have nothing to worry about. Don't worry, girl. Like, you got it. But Tigor does encourage Chemo to talk to Quinn because, again, bad look that you did not vote out Tucker. Bad look when that was the plan. She was like, look, you need to make sure that he knows exactly how you feel about him. Okay, like, make sure that he knows that you're on his side, you got his back. She says, look, it's going to take a much stronger relationship if he puts up Chemo than the one he has with Joseph and Leah. So Tigor also says if Quinn puts them up, she is done, and her target will be him if she is HOH next time. So once again, she tells Chemo and Rubina, look, you have to stress how much you are protecting him, how much you protected him in these conversations. So Tigor really, 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 obviously it's very clear that they are in danger. And so Tigor is really trying hard to get them to try to defend themselves. But knowing Quinn, Quinn was always somebody who has it in his head already and he's not changing his mind. So Joseph, Chemo, and Rubina have a conversation, and Joseph is talking about how they, meaning Chelsea and Cam, are Quinn's new friends. He says it would be really stupid to put up Chemo and Rubina. So once again, Joseph is kind of more on that side. But Joseph's a floater. He's a floater. He just floats to where the power is. Well, you'll see him kind of contradicting himself in a few minutes. So Chemo and Rubina, they also talk. They have a little cry for Tucker. They're upset that he's gone, but they ultimately do not fault anybody for voting him out. Now, Tigor and Chelsea also catch up, and Chelsea says, look, I was scared at first, but now I am fine. I was scared of where it was going to go, where the vote was going to go, who's going to go up this week, what's going to happen, but now I'm good. Now, Chelsea does say, look, he's putting up Angela, but in terms of the other people, I have no idea who he is putting up. Chelsea did told Tigor that, look, Tucker was coming after you, just so you know. I don't know if you knew that. And Tigor says, he threw the competition to Cam on purpose because he wanted to come after you. And Tigor says, look, I really tried to protect you last week by not putting you up. Just want to say it. Chelsea's like, thanks. Yes, thank you so much. But I don't know. Obviously, Chelsea is one of the main people on the other side saying we need to break up the three. We need to go for the three. We need to go for the trio. She has said that repeated times openly. So I think that, again, Chelsea likes Tigor as a person, but at the end of the day, they really don't want the trio, that side of the house. They really, really, they want Tigor, but they do not want the trio. So Angela and Quinn have their one-on-one, and Angela talks about how she did not want to win the HOH.
Not that I threw it, but I just didn't want it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can express an opinion of something between you and me.
Yeah, and it'll see.
Did not want to stir the pot. Now, Angela says, look, I don't like the way that there are certain people in this house that feel really safe, that feel so protected, people that are really not campaigning for their game, anything like that. She says, look, I am by myself, even though I had that thing with Tucker. At the end of the day, I knew that he was a loose cannon and that it was something that I couldn't stick with really forever. In the moment it felt good, but it wasn't actually going to help me in the long run. So, she says, again, I love how Tucker took me under his wing. I am so grateful for that in the game because, Tucker may say a lot of crazy things, but it is definitely valid that he saved Angela's life in this game. But at the end of the day, she says, I don't want to be a floater, but for now, I will continue to be on my own. So that's kind of where they leave off their conversation. Quinn and Leah have a one-on-one as well. And at this point, they talk a lot about prioritizing each other in the game. They are both open to working with Joseph, but at the end of the day, they want each other to be each other's number ones. As you know, though, Quinn has so many like final twos that it doesn't matter. But I will say Quinn does definitely want to protect Leah. That is something that he has been loud and clear about. So he tells Leah, look, my target is Rubina, but I do want to build an alliance with you, me, Tigor, and Joseph. Quinn likes and trusts Joseph, but he has been making a lot of the same moves that he has been exposed for. And I do think that's valid. I think Joseph kind of does the same thing. He's just less loud. At the end of the day, the difference between Quinn and Joseph is that Quinn is loud and Joseph is not. So Joseph and Quinn have a pretty long talk to end.
Brought up his mom. I was like,
Right.
I know crazy. That's never going to get better.
Yeah. You're right about that.
And then, let's see. I tried to be slick and forming something with Rubina. Because
Off the night. First, he apologizes for the final two with Tucker. Quinn says, look, I understand, bro. Like, I get it. You still have to do like your own thing. He's acting like he gets it. He understands, you know, what are you going to say? So Quinn talks about how stuff was done with Angela after bringing up Matt's mom, because at this point, there's still speculation that those two are working together. But he says, look, like, she's crazy. Like, I am not working with Angela. There has not been anything since week 1 with her. He does say, I did have a final two with Rubina, but it wasn't official. It was more of just like a, we have each other's back. Then they get into conversation about the Underdogs Alliance. And Quinn is like, yeah, I know you caught some heat for the Underdogs. And Joseph is like, look, at the end of the day, I just thought I was being loyal to the collective. Like, I didn't, like, you know. But there is a lot of discussion between the two of them about how dumb Tucker was, how bad of a player he was, how, you know, the mistakes he made. And as I said, Joseph has completely jumped ship, acting like he hated Tucker, like Tucker was terrible, like he could not be dead working with Tucker when it's like you had a final two with him. Now, at this point, Quinn definitely wants Angela up on the block. Apparently, during the competition, he had tried to make, Angela had tried to make some kind of deal with Chelsea. And so they're just laughing about that and how dumb Angela is. But he tells Joseph that Chelsea is willing to work with you. He also, at this point, wants Rubina up because he backstabbed her so many times, as he's been saying. And you know, Joseph is like, well, you know, Rubina did believe like that Ballers Alliance stuff. You know, in her defense, she like really did believe that that was true. So that might be part of the reason why she kind of made the move she did. And again, like I said, Joseph is really trying to defend Chemo and Rubina and Tigor. Like, I think he really wants that group to stay rather than the Chelsea, MJ, Angela even side of things. I don't know. So he also says that Chemo knew that Tucker was trying to trick him. That's what Quinn says. Now, Joseph does defend Chemo and Tigor, and he says, look, like, they really did not want to be part of the plan. Like, that morning, both of them were like, oh my God, we really don't want to do this. We really don't want to do this. It was just, you know, at that time, they had to for the numbers. Now, Quinn says he has talked to Chemo and Tigor tonight, and he gave them multiple opportunities to bring up the 6th Avenue Alliance, but they didn't. Joseph tries to say, but look, they did really want to include you in that alliance, though. Overall, though, he says he wants a power structure of the two of them, plus Chelsea, Cam, MJ, and Leah. In this conversation, he does not mention Tigor. But he says that he wants MJ, Cam, and Leah around because he can beat them. Or they can beat them in the finals. He says it is a good idea to keep Tigor because she's a jury threat. That's what Joseph says. He says, look, if Tigor's in the jury, she might turn some of these people against us. Okay. And he says, and they both agree that they will never put each other up or never vote against each other. So that is kind of where we're at the end of day 45. We have a couple of things of note. Chelsea, Cam, and Quinn are ready to have an alliance with Tigor at this point, but it means one of her allies will likely go home, either Chemo or Rubina. And there is a lot of talk in the next couple of days asking T-Core like, hey, like, so are you open to being in an alliance without them? Because we don't want the trio of you, straight up. Joseph and Quinn, they do solidify their final two. They call it No Doubt. Chemo is confused about the Visionaries being a thing still. I'll be honest, I don't think the Visionaries is a thing still. And both T-Core and Chemo are pretty paranoid about what's going on. Joseph fills Leah in on everything that has been going on over the night, all of the talks that are had, and they also settle on the name Childom for their alliance. And Quinn wants to form a 7-person alliance, essentially of everybody who did not vote to keep Tucker to stay. Quinn also said, look, I told both Chemo and Rubina that they're going to be on the block, but they're going to stay. They're basically like pawns, whatever. So that is how we end off day 46, day 45, sorry. We end up day 45 there. Now we're on to day 46, which is nominations. Let's just start post-nom ceremony because nothing really matters. We find out our nominations are Chemo, Rubina, and Angela. As expected. Quinn told us, right? He told us that was who it is. T-Core is pissed. T-Core is very, very upset after this.
Time and energy so much that giving it out is draining.
Yeah.
I didn't anticipate that in this game.
She says at this point, the Visionaries is nothing. Visionaries who? Don't ask me about no Visionaries. No, literally though. She was so mad. Now, she tells Rubina and Chemo, you guys need to fight in the arena. And she claims that after the renom, because she doesn't want to be the renom, that she's going to blow everything up. Okay, T-Core. Okay, T-Core. You going to blow up what, sis? I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Give it to us. Now, Quinn told Chemo that if Rubina stays on the block, she is going home. And again, the target is Rubina for Quinn. Quinn's target is Rubina. Rubina and Chemo are aware that Quinn made a deal with MJ. They talk about it. They're like, it's so obvious the reason that she's not up is because there must be some kind of deal with the two of them. And Quinn also told Cam that he wanted to include everyone that voted for Tucker plus T-Core in an alliance, especially Leah, because she is never involved in anything. And again, like I told you, he really wants Leah in something. He likes her. He has a crush on her and he wants to protect her. It's like schoolboy with a crush, okay? Now, T-Core says, look, I am very upset. That's why I got my sunglasses on. I cannot show it because then I might be the renom, you know, I might go up. So she's not happy. So Angela and Quinn have a bit of a conversation because again, Angela's on the block and Angela is crying.
Funny. I'm not actually upset by those things at all. It's just like a funny thing to bring up. I wasn't trying to like publicly call you out, and everyone knows that like I don't take that stuff personally, and no one's thinking like, wow.
Apparently during the nomination ceremony, Quinn made some kind of like comment or joke or something towards Angela about her like blowing up or saying stuff, and Angela didn't really take it that well. You know, Quinn claims, look, I just brought it up to make the meeting light. I just brought it up to break some of the tension. But, you know, Angela obviously did not find it funny. Sort of like with the Tucker situation where Tucker clearly didn't find it funny either. Angela claims she's not mad and she understands, but we'll see. Quinn also has a talk with the camera. He says, look, Joseph will likely get rid of me at some point, so I need to get rid of him. He also says that he may not win against T-Core and Chelsea in the final two, so he does want to keep them around as long as possible, but likely doesn't want them to be in final two with him. So, things of note of that day, Chelsea and MJ say that Joseph at this point is their #1 target, and this is another thing that starts to happen. A lot of people, again, start to realize how shady Joseph is. They start to realize, Joseph is just always kind of in his own little world. He's always lying. He's like a little rat. He's like Quinn, but quieter. You know, people started to realize that. They realized all Joseph ever talks about is this last 6 weeks over and over and over again. And they say, look, Joseph would have voted out Quinn over Tucker. Be so for real. Like, he had that final 2 with Tucker. And if it was Quinn next to him, he would have voted him out. So they are tired of Joseph and Rubina lying, and they have decided officially that they really want to shift the target to Joseph. Now, day 47, yesterday. Ooh, okay, I'm proud of myself for getting through that so a little bit quickly. We're on day 47, which is the veto. We wake up and we find out the veto players are Quinn, Angela, Rubina, Chemo, Joseph, and Leah. I'll tell you all a spoiler right now. Joseph has played 14 out of 14 competitions and he's won 0. Not 1 competition has Joseph won. No, but we gonna go post-veto and our winner is Leah! Miss Leah Peters. She did it. She did it one time for the one time. Okay, I was happy for Leah. I was happy for Leah. And this is why I said, look, I like Tucker. Tucker was a great and polarizing character, but I do think with Tucker not beasting through the comps, we're going to see other people winning, and Leah wins. Leah, of course, was crying, so happy, so happy. It sounded like they had to build a robot in the dark. That was the competition, and she won, so I'm proud of her. So Chelsea is in the bathroom already, like, you saw how the 3 were huddled up.
After the last 6 weeks, y'all been running this.
Who's laughing now?
Hey, watch them. Watch them.
Right, you saw how the 3 were huddled up, right? Watch them. She's like, watch them. They're probably going to try to kiss up to you right now, the 3. Oh boy. MJ says, look, you should use it on Angela. So T-Core goes up and one of them gets out. And I was like, ooh, not MJ taking shots. MJ was like, we gonna get one of them 3 out no matter what. Now Quinn, would Quinn ever put T-Core up? No. I don't think Quinn would put T-Core up. So Joseph has a camera talk and he is talking about how he could have won it if he switched it up, if he worked a little bit faster. He is happy that Leah won and he actually wants Chelsea to go up. So Quinn and Leah, they have a conversation.
Hello. Reminded me of the Minions. I like your smile. You treat people with kindness. You're really funny. You're really funny. You're really good at cooking.
And at this point, he says, look, I have to take out Rubina. I've taken so many shots at her. So again, Quinn is reassuring us that his target is still Rubina, no matter what. He says he does eventually want to take out Angela, but not right now. And he wants to bring up everybody. Basically, he says, look, I want to bring up Joseph, T-Core, Chelsea, Cam, and MJ. And I want to ask for a volunteer as a pawn. And then, because I know that nobody's actually going to volunteer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give everybody a Skittle. Whoever picks the green Skittle is going to go up. Aight, okay. Now, Angela and Joseph have a conversation, and Angela, baby, paranoid Ange is back in the building. Angela,
I know, but I think he values your opinion just as I do.
Who's that? Quinn?
Quinn.
He's not gonna. You've come at him too many times. You know what I'm saying? I can't convince him to. You know what I'm saying? To get Leah to use.
Crazy. So Angela says, "Look, you know, you can use me as a shield. You can use me as a number. Like, you know, what are you guys thinking? Like, you can use me as a shield. Use me as a number. You know, look, can you please put in a good word with Quinn and just let him know, like, see if anybody else could be a target." Joseph is like, I don't control him. Like, I can't control Quinn. Like, you know, I don't. Like, he's going to do what he wants to do. I've kind of broken his trust too. So it's not like I'm somebody that has a lot of big pull with him. And they're just like, yeah, I know. But like, I know that you still have some say with him. So do you think you could go put a good word in with him? Joseph says, look, I'm going to be honest with you. there is really nothing you can do right now. Like, you literally have blown up on Quinn so many times. I highly doubt that you will be able to change his mind about getting off. And you're going to need to ask Leah, because Leah won the veto at the end of the day. Angela's like, I'm not asking Leah. I'm not asking Leah. I just asked you to ask Quinn because I know that you have some pull with him. He says, there is nothing that I can do. I'm sorry. He continues begging. And at some point he says, look, I'm going to be real with you. You need to win the arena, okay? If you don't win the arena, I don't really see any chance for you. I'm just keeping it real. If you don't win the arena, there's probably no chance for you. In this conversation, I was like, Joseph is a cocky MF. Like, he is so cocky. I'm like, who gave Joseph this ego? For somebody who has played 14 competitions and lost all 14 of them, this man swears he is running the Big Brother game. I was like, who are you to tell Angela that she's gone this week when in reality, Angela's not even the target? Okay. So after this conversation, Angela goes over to Leah and she is crying.
Somebody else who may be more of a threat than myself.
Right.
And he says, no, I don't think so. I'm not going to do that. And to be honest with you, you've blown up at him way too many times. And I don't know.
You know, she is discussing the conversation she just had with Joseph, how he told her, no, all you do is blow up on him too much. And because of that, you should be grateful to be here. He said no one else in the house will ever trust her because she's blown up too many times. She has no chance except for winning in the arena. And at this point, Angela just says she feels defeated. She feels upset. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I really didn't like Joseph's energy. Like, do I think Angela should have cried about this? No. But I think Angela's approach should have been to be like, but who are you to say that? Like, why would you say that? Like, how do you, like, know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that it made sense that Joseph was so bold with it. When, hey, let's just say there's a group of people in this house now that are trying to get you on that block. So she is also upset because she feels like Chemo, Tikor, and Rubina heard that Angela wanted them up. She is assuming from their one-on-one that got back to them, that information. And because of that, she feels like Tikor is really upset with her because of that. When in reality, the real reason why Tikor is upset is because two of her friends and allies are on the block. But Angela thinks it is because of that. Chelsea, Quinn, MJ, and Joseph also have a conversation. They are just discussing how Angela was ranting after the conversation that she had with Joseph. They are also talking about Tikor. Well, Chelsea, I should say, talks about Tikor. She talks about how Tikor is really concerned about how she's going to play the second half of this game. She just doesn't really know what to do, where to go right now. Now, Chelsea says, look, after next week, Tikor will likely be willing to deviate from what is not helping her. And there is so much talk about Tikor distancing herself from Rubina and Chemo because they're not good for her. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know about that. I think that Tikor would play both sides, but do I think she would ever just dump them? It's kind of a question mark, but I don't know because something was said a little later in the night where maybe it does seem like she'd be willing to dump at least one of them. Now, she says that Angela and the others are just staring into space pitifully. They start getting into a conversation about doing some house activities so everybody can kind of like feel a little happier. Now, Quinn and Tikor have a conversation, and it is important to note that Tikor is fuming at Quinn, okay? She is not happy with him. She does not like him at all. She is targeting him. The visionaries is no longer a thing, but they do talk. Tikor says, look, there are bigger targets to get out in this house, and that is Joseph.
He's been talking a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and he's coming off as very cocky.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about how bad.
She just flat out name drops him. Quinn says, look, would you be willing to join an alliance without Chemo? And Tikor says she is open. continues to try to sow seeds against Joseph, right? Quinn says, look, I don't really want to work with Joseph because he's been running his mouth and he's been coming off as cocky, and it's really rubbing people the wrong way. It comes off as bragging because he's never been in any danger. He's never had to win any comps. He's been throwing everything. And he also talks about how Chemo's name has been mentioned because there is speculation that he and Tucker had a final two. Tigor says, look, to my knowledge, that's not true. But at this point, Quinn also talks about how the house is basically split up 5v5. He says the best option for them two is to team up with Chelsea, which would mean that Cam is also going to be coming. But, you know, at this point, he feels that is the best option. Now, he says he is worried for the late game with Cam being a part of it as well, but at this point, it's the best option. So Tigor says she does like both Chelsea and Cam, but she does recognize they are good players, aka they are threats. So Quinn also throws out Leah as an option because, as we know, Quinn wants to protect Leah and get her into some things. Tigor says, I really like Leah, and she has really liked Leah even since last week. She wanted to protect her. Now, Tigor does say, look, I want Angela out. I am willing to work in an alliance without Chemo, but I am still skeptical of Joseph. Okay, so again, the seeds are being sown about the possibility of Joseph. Ultimately, Quinn says he wants to form an alliance of him, Tigor, Chelsea, Cam, Leah, and Mackenzie. And why are we making so big of an alliance at like Final 10? That's crazy to me. So Angela and Leah are having a conversation in the bathroom real quick. Angela tells Leah, look, if I stay, I will never put you on the block. She also talks to Joseph, and he does apologize for making her feel bad. He says that was not really his intention, so they kind of sort of make up. And Tigor and Rubina, they have a conversation and they want to form a girls' alliance with Leah and MJ. Now remember last week when Tigor was HOH, she really wanted to form this alliance. It never really happened yet, but now they want to form with Leah and MJ. So she says, look, if this alliance is formed, they are my priority. You guys are my priority, and we can carry Chemo as far as we can, but so it sounds like Miss Tigor is willing to ditch Chemo for Rubina. So it sounds like right now Tigor's number one is Rubina and not Chemo. Okay. Now Tigor said, look, I'll talk to Chelsea and Leah about being in the alliance, and Rubina will talk to MJ. Meanwhile, Quinn is also trying to form something with Chemo. And that is it, y'all. That is where we are at. Obviously, the renom ceremony is on Monday, so things could change, but that is kind of the current state of where the house is at. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, thank you so much for bearing with me and still being here. I know it's been weird uploads. Anyways, I would love it if you made it to this point of the video. That means you liked the video. So I would absolutely love it if you would help me to drum up engagement on the videos by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Share the videos with your friends, other Big Brother lovers, and please make sure you are subscribed to the videos. Make sure that you have the bell on so you know when I drop these recaps daily. And also, make sure you are still subscribed because YouTube is on that funny stuff. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, we're back on schedule. I promise you. I will see you guys tomorrow for the next recap. Bye!